So, when we last left off, the party had become separated after passing through the portal in the pyramids, moving on from Carthus, the place outside of time and space, returning to their own realms of existence, their own different realities. Much time has passed, the world has progressed without them, and it seems as though the world has moved on without them, although there is an essence of their shadows being in place, as if people still recognize them, even though they've technically had no interaction with the world until this point. For Talia, the war is over. The root has been cleared out from her world, and peace has relatively returned. The, fight was successful, and they managed to repel the invaders. For the boys, they have found that there is a sort of peace talks happening between the different structures of old need and new need, and they are both coming to terms with respecting each other for simply what they are. But for Mai, she's in a rough position, meeting again with her brother, but he's different. He certainly looks and sounds like her brother, but he's almost a different person entirely, and as such is in a moral quandary about what to do about his current state and perhaps how to convince him otherwise of his true intentions. But as it stands, you all are just getting yourselves back on your feet and figuring out what to do. Talia, let's start with you. You have just made peace with your father, Jormungandr, as he has explained the situation where when deities have children, they are not simply allowed to roam free, and thus you were kept a secret, separated from both of your parents, and allowed to live your life and grow up by yourself. It has been tough, but not nearly as tough as your sister, who was conscripted into doing service and given a role and having a reputation to uphold. Now that you understand the situation a little bit better, what would you like to do? You are still walking along the beach with your father, who has taken a humanoid sort of appearance, but he's still very much different. Yeah. Talia?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Thinking.
All right. He says to you,
I have not spent much time with you, and yet I can sense that there is something amiss. There is a presence about you, something I have not sensed since I last saw your mother. Your call to adventure, sense of freedom. I know there is much work to be done. There is still loose ends to take care of here in your world. But I want you to know I will respect whatever decision you make. And I am interested to hear what you have to say, and what you would like to do from here going forward.
Talia looks out upon the horizon and she says, I want to be able to bring this family back together as I don't care what God says. It's not right for me and Scotty to go without our parents. We're pretty much a broken family because of the gods.
There are rules in place to protect not just ourselves, but others. Not many are simply trustworthy.
Such as?
Many of your stories about divine intervention was long before these rules were in place, where the powers were allowed to roam free and do as they see fit. That time is past, and we all must conform to an understanding. We have obligations, for with great power comes great responsibility.
And Spider-Man.
Okay, you take an adversity token.
Fuck yeah!
Everybody knows that. Everybody should be getting an adversity token.
It's whoever calls it.
Well, it's whoever's seen it is.
Yeah. Anywho. That was more of the Sunday campaign, but... goodness. You boiling something over there, Holger? Yes, Talia. What do you plan to do now?
I think it's time that I visit an old friend then.
And who would that be?
Follow and you may see.
I am always watching.
Of course you are. A question for the DM.
Yeah.
Has Morbazak's essence from Karthus reached his natural form in this
You
world?
have no way of knowing that.
Okay.
Of what you have seen, all of the roots here have been destroyed.
Okay.
So they're in whatever sort of state they were killed in, either severed, burned, or what have you. They have shriveled up and died.
Looks like I'm gonna have to travel off-world then. Oh, freaking joy.
I don't think so.
I mean, it was there last night. No, it was there at lunchtime.
Okay.
Right there now.
Yeah, I haven't had it. Alright. Sorry, what was that? My dad was asking me something.
I said I'm gonna have to travel off-world. Oh, freaking joy.
Okay. How are you going to do that?
Well, let me think.
If you wish to continue your venture without interruption, it would be for the best that I not interact directly.
Basically, he could like use his powers to, take you to another world, but then people would know that and then be able to track you down, basically. So, if you want some time to think, we can jump over to somebody else.
Yeah, because I want to be able to be in contact with him and stuff like that, but I also am trying to think of a way, like, how I got off world originally.
How you got off world originally was that you jumped into the sea, and an essence of your mother allowed you to. She was drawing you towards her, and that brought you to some sort of event horizon. You were able to slip between worlds. You do also know that there is probably still a Connor around, and you traveled with the party through a crystal that was in. What's his name? It's not Mordecai. I hate that I can't remember his name because he's such a significant character.
Malachi?
Malachi, thank you. Malachi, you were in Malachi's laboratory and he had a crystal.
Looks like I'm traveling to Malachi's laboratory.
Okay. Let's cut over to the boys. Actually, let's cut over to Jack, specifically. You were going home, right, Jack?
Yeah, that's where I ended up at.
Okay. Did you have anything specific that you were going to do?
No, in fact, I was approached by someone and invited to a barbecue, if I remember correctly.
That is correct. Mutton Chops, one of your neighbors, has made sure that you got an invite to the neighborly sort of cookout. He's hosting it this week, so that's or this month rather. It's a monthly thing. It is coming up next week. So you have about 4 days of preparation.
Right. And the thing that I'm trying to figure out right now is that if I've been somewhere else, but everybody else is acting like I've been around here, then who's been here in my place?
The general idea is that the world has progressed around you, but you have not been actually interacting with it. There's been any talks about like, oh, you did this, you did that. The world has progressed, and your place, is nicer. You have some more of the things that you probably would have, taken care of or acquired or whatnot. But nobody knows of any sort of interaction or things that you have done in that time period. So basically, people don't remember that the world got erased or consumed by the tar, as you have called it. But everyone remembers everything as normal up to that point. And then there's just sort of this kind of time that has passed that is about, I did nail it down to 6 weeks. Like 6.5 weeks, almost 7 weeks.
Damn, we were gone for that long? Holy shit.
Okay, well,
And this is true for everybody. I guess Mai doesn't have anyone to confirm with, but Talia, you will also know this, as will everyone else.
Would Connor be able to confirm this or no?
Roll me a d20, Connor.
Alrighty. Like just regular D20, nothing specific?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. I got an 11.
So what you notice is that when the party travels to another dimension, time still continues, although it's a little bit weird. So there was never a moment that you were away from the party for more than a second, but, you know, time has continued and progressed.
The good old
So-
time marches on for...
Yeah.
much
Everything
longer.
appears normal to you.
I mean, aside from the fact that there was I assume Connor, for Connor at least, in his perspective, kind of like a gap. Like 1 second he's in a jungle world with his friends, and next thing he knew, they kind of like left.
Yeah,
him
you
to a
just
blind
jumped to
spot.
another world, but now you don't remember that Connor. Like, you got disconnected from that Connor. That
like
Connor
practically a
doesn't exist.
blind spot or
Yep.
amnesia.
But no time seemed to pass when that Connor disappeared.
Okay. Because I feel like after like what Joshua told Connor about Kitangu and all them, you would kind of find it very disturbing how he's quite essentially being used as basically a very a fine familiar version of for a wizard, you know, being sent out to do stuff for this entity that he has no idea about, and he's essentially the eyes and ears for them.
Okay. Anywho, we're gonna jump back to Jack.
All right, sorry about that.
So, does that answer your question, Jack?
Sure. I'm probably gonna spend the next few days, because you also mentioned that there seems to be somewhat of a more of a presence of the people above coming down below to
Yeah.
visit than there was before.
Oh, and actually, this is something
So-
kind of important that I should announce to everyone. We are going to jump into a little bit of a downtime segment. So this won't be like day by day, you know, hour by hour roleplay session. So if you guys think of things that you want to be doing or have done, we'll do it like a day by day basis of like, what did you do? So yeah, continue, Jack. Just to let people be thinking about it.
So I would probably be trying to think of a way to keep the people who are living down below in charge of what goes on down below, and not letting the people from above like gentrify the place and take it over.
Okay.
So I would probably be networking with people and trying to discuss with them how to go about that, how to go about making our own money for our people down here, and not just selling out to the people up there for
Okay.
a short-term thing. We could keep this as a long-term thing.
The general
Sorta like-
situation, yes.
Sort of like we could almost keep it like Bourbon Street in New Orleans. We could make a lot of money off of just letting those people come down here. But at the end of the day, they're going to go back up, and we're just going to have their money. So
Yeah, exactly. There's not a whole lot of like residences that are being rented out. Like, there's still a lot of tension, but they are sort of opening up the barriers. You know, people don't have to sneak up and down as much. The general situation is that you know, there are like tourists kind of coming down and, you know, seeing the sights and being like, oh, that's cool, and then they'll move on and whatnot. To sort of answer your question, there is, you know, sort of neighborly meetups where a bunch of different residents meet up in like groups of 20 to 60 at times, and then like representatives of those will sometimes go to a general kind of council is a very loose word for it, but just sort of representing the different districts, and just sort of communicating with each other on a generally regular basis, making sure that the neighbor watch basically sort of thing is going on. So if you would like to become a part of that, or if there was something else that you were going for.
No, I think he would probably maybe dip his toes a little bit into being a little bit political.
Okay.
Trying to make all the right moves.
Yeah.
So
Again, they're specifically trying to
needs
stay
to help
away
other
from
people
getting a
get it.
political group and like declaring like different districts and whatnot, because they know if they start to do that, then any sort of legal process, that's what lawyers do. Lawyers are evil. They're trying to avoid lawyers and like legal process, because that they just want to have their neighborhood and live their life basically.
That's okay by me if they don't understand that is politics, because I do.
Okay.
Anytime you get a group of people together, it's politics, and Jack's smart enough to realize that. So he would kind of be putting himself in a position to where if he needed to take advantage of that, he could.
Right. They're just trying to be loose enough about it that it's nobody specific and no specific times and events, so that the people above can't start pinning them down and start dictating their locations on maps and figuring out which best ways to tax them, or put roads in and whatnot. It's definitely free roam and open to the people, sort of. And basically it's like going through any sort of like rural area where you kind of have to hire a guide to even be able to do anything in the those sorts of civilizations. I can't think of like a very good one, but sort of like maybe like a bazaar in Egypt or something, where you really have to hire a guide to be able to know and do anything. That sort of situation a little bit. Yeah.
So maybe Jack might be looking to put a group of those kind of guys together.
Okay.
Most of the time they call them fixers. So that's what you would be looking for. People who fix problems.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to do like some sort of like volunteer handyman sort of thing or something. People know of you and what you have done, but very loosely. You're not like a legend by any means, but people generally recognize you if you introduce yourself, basically.
That's probably what he'd be doing.
Okay.
With this upcoming barbecue, he would probably be ramping that up a little bit.
Okay. Let's jump over to who else wants to go? Who else has a plan for these kind of couple days of downtime?
Joshua's going to go to the library
Okay.
and check out a book on traveling planes.
Okay. Do you
Map.
continue doing stuff with Malachi? He is training you to be his assistant.
No. Joshua just kind of drops off the face of the earth. Goes
Okay.
back to the slum.
So
Searching for-
you don't go back up topside at all.
Yeah, no, I'm searching for the real secret stuff, like only stuff.
Okay. That was just like a
I don't
very
know how
great resource that you're pretty much throwing away.
Yeah, you don't think the guy who studies planeswalking has information about planeswalking?
Maybe you have a plane walking gun.
Portal gun.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid copyrights.
Everybody has a portal gun.
Not even
No,
gonna.
I'm searching for something a bit more esoteric instead of steampunk, if you catch.
Okay. There is like a community library, but it's like a bunch of books that either residents here have written or like carried in their families. There's not going to be anything of like historical or, you know, research value in it by any means. That all that sort of learned stuff would be something that's either imported or, you know, studied with the, you know, sort of backing of monetary, such as the Kingdom Above, like Malachi is doing. So, and you would know that, but that's okay. No, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you information. So
That's just where the stuff is, bro.
that's just literally how society works.
Unless you want to go find a witch or something. That might be interesting.
Yeah, if you want to do any sort of like occult research or something, perhaps. But any sort of like scientific research would be in some sort of part of an actual assembly that's been, you know.
Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. First, I'm gonna go up to an assembly and like get actual planeswalking books and such, or documents. Then I'm gonna go to was that word you used before? Describe like a market in Egypt.
Oh, a bazaar?
Yes. Then I'm going to go to like a magic bazaar in like the lower rungs, like where they sell bad juju kind of stuff.
Okay. Let's start with the going top side. Specifically, where are you going? Because if you are going topside, there are people that, you know, are trying to figure out what you're doing, because the reason why you're able to do a lot of the stuff is your connection with Malachi. He has, you know, declared that you are his apprentice, which means that you have a license to use magic and study it, so you have access to a lot of, you know, buildings and whatnot in the higher echelon, especially access to magic learning books and whatnot. So if you want to use that and then quickly get off the map and, you know, dump that, you'd probably have to do that pretty quick without anyone noticing you. So is that what you're doing?
Yep.
Okay. I would say roll me a stealth check, but if you think that there is another skill that will help you get in and get out quickly with what you're looking for, go ahead and roll me that skill if you don't mind.
I'd say stealth and maybe sleight of hand, to be quite honest.
I was gonna say maybe deception, because, you know, you're like, you'd be like walking.
I will allow deception or stealth.
Like,
and
you know,
then
you're trying to walk
the next roll will to be actually see if he can find it. But let's see how well he does with blending in first.
I mean, that's my
I'm gonna
idea.
go stealth, since I have a better modifier on that.
Sure.
That's fair.
I forgot to pull out my dice. Hold on.
Really?
You're so proud of those dice.
It feels so good right now.
Oh, okay.
Slipped my mind.
I'm sorry.
No, not my best buddy.
Everybody's sick.
Yeah, my throat's been hurting for the past few days. Ouch.
I got a 16.
Okay. Yeah, you're
Oh,
you're
yeah.
pretty easily you just kind of just start strutting in there, If you act like you're supposed to be there, nobody even bothers you. Go ahead and roll me investigation to see if you're able to kind of get what you're going for. And again, we're kind of keeping these pretty loose and generic. Excuse me.
Does a 10 work?
Are you fine with a 10?
Yeah, I have 8 d20s. Can I use one of my auto 20s?
You absolutely can. With a total of... What's your modifier to investigation?
I don't have a modifier for investigation.
Oh, it's just a +0?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, with a 20, you are able to find some generic learning material. It's sort of like the student and the teacher book, sort of discussing the different planes and how they work, the construction, connection, and basis to them. Yeah, there's a lot of pretty basic but rudimentary and learning stuff here. You do also notice... I will say that that's what you can get out of the general library. If you want to specifically go into Malachi's laboratory and root around in there, I'll make that a separate roll. How's that?
Alright, I'd like to do that.
Okay. Also stealthily,
Yes.
I would like you to make another stealth check. So this is Malachi here.
Don't get caught.
Can I just use another auto 20 or is that a...
Okay,
one-time
yeah,
session?
no.
Oh, okay.
What's your modifier to that?
A +4.
Okay. Go
get
ahead and make
25.
a investigation check.
Can I use another auto 20?
All right, if this is really what you're going to spend it on, you can absolutely find Malachi's notes, and you will even find that he does have a chamber where he has records and whatnot. You do not find the crystal. I will not give you that specifically, but you can find all of his personal documentation that has not been duplicated, has not been put into any sort of tomes or anything. If you would like to take that, it will be noticeable. But I'm
Yeah, I take
certain
all
it will
that.
have the answers that you're looking for.
I take all that, but I do leave a note saying to Malachi, thank you for being my friend and teacher for so long, but I do believe it's now time I take my destiny into my own hands. So sorry for rifling through your files.
Make a persuasion check.
With advantage?
No. I'm
Wow.
refusing to give it with
You
disadvantage.
Really should have just asked permission.
I tried.
Persuasion, my old enemy.
You got a nat 20.
I will not allow a nat 20 on this roll.
Does a 17 work?
Okay. It's a 17. You've rid it pretty good. We'll just have to wait and see. And then you hightail it out of there and then go down into the occult area.
Like the seediest.
And do you
magically
take all
charged
this
place I can
documentation
find.
with you?
But I don't make it obvious that I have documentation like that.
Okay,
Or
do you want to
put it
like
in
put
a-
it somewhere? Do you want to get like a hideout or something to set all that?
Puts
So you
it in
don't
a
have it
Lisa
like
Frank
on you when you
binder.
go down there?
Can't I grab a bag? Don't I have a bag?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that like before you go down into the seediest part of the underworld, do you take all your valuable possessions with you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, what are you looking for down
Way
here?
more interesting than leaving behind.
Black magic.
I'm looking for a. Hold on.
Do
let
you
me
do
think
you
for a
go
second.
alone?
Oh, sh-
Okay.
Connor can come with him.
All right, Connor. What are you doing while he was getting notes and whatnot in the up
All right.
echelon?
Connor's keeping watch outside. Like, he's just trying to blend in as best as he can in the upper city.
Oh, if you go up in the upper city, there's no way you can blend in. I will guarantee you that.
I know, but this is Connor. He's doing this thing. Like, his attempt at it would be like putting a newspaper with holes in it for eyes.
Make a blending in check. I will
Alright,
allow
what
you to
would
decide
that be?
what it is. Deception, probably.
sleight of hand.
You don't move your fingers around to hide yourself unless you're John Cena.
Yeah,
I'll do-
but what if you have to
Oh,
like
yo,
tuck your head
bro.
back or something?
Alright, I'll do sleight of hand.
Why are you doing sleight of hand?
You said anything.
I said I.
Okay, I'll
You
do
said you could
stealth.
add whatever.
I'll do stealth. Alright?
I'm just
And
imagining the
that's a nat
scene
20.
in Emperor's New Groove
Nat
where
20.
Krunk is sneaking out of the castle and he's like. "Da, da, 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 da."
By the way, that's a nat 20 plus the modifier.
Is it actually a nat 20? Or did
Yeah,
you
it's nat
choose?
20.
Alright.
It's nat 20. And it's a plus due to 22.
Okay.
I am so glad I was
Sarah
unconscious.
doesn't allow nat 20s.
You manage somehow to miss every single patrol as you move through. You're just like Inspector Clouseau, just like completely missing everything somehow. But yes, you make it up there. And then you go down with Joshua into the underworld.
Yeah, pretty much. I was
Okay.
like, okay, Joshua, did you find anything good?
I found plenty of good. Now we need to find the bad.
Oh jeez.
My god. This could be the worst.
But
The way that these two need a babysitter
yeah.
constantly and never have one.
bro, it's not
Let's
our
be
fault
honest.
the party split up.
Holgear, what
Yeah,
are
it's not
you
our
doing?
fault. They leave the two most chaotic people alone, unsupervised. That's like everybody else's fault.
Oh, is Holgear not here?
Alright, well.
Dude.
I am here. I was just getting gas.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Alright.
How dare you?
Sorry.
Well,
But,
considering that they need a babysitter, I was wondering what Holgear was doing.
I mean, if I'm honest, I'd not like to do any of that.
Okay.
Would Jack go? Do you think?
Yeah, Holgear, what do you spend your first day doing?
Double checking the family businesses, because
Okay.
I've been gone for I don't think I know how long I've been gone for, so I'd like to double check all my family's businesses. should they come along.
Make an investigation check.
No, my investigation has got to be a +1. $13.
Okay. From what you can tell, sort of all the connections with like overseas sort of corporations and, you know, long-term investments and whatnot, all of that has kind of been slowly being broken off.
As in, they're no longer diversifying to be outside of the city?
They're no longer diversifying to be exceptionally rich and wealthy with a lot of non-possessions of like, stocks and bonds and, Bitcoin or whatever. It all seems to be like relatively, at least on the continent, sort of connections and, sort of business investments. So your family is not as much as a powerhouse as it once was, but it seems to be a bit more, manageable at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, we're losing the millionaire status, but we're also not going to be putting our family through crazy amounts of stress.
Yeah. Also, make an insight check for your generally family situation, if you don't mind.
Yeah. That's 12 and a 14, so it's a 12.
Okay. You get the general sense that your family has been broken and is still broken and probably will be broken for a while. It's a lot quieter at the household, but it seems like it's in the good process of like actually becoming a family, perhaps, maybe. Like there you get this general sense that there's this sort of realization and then winding down that's happening.
Okay, that feels healthy.
So just to clarify, Jack and Connor and Joshua are pretty much unsupervised right about now.
Right. Again, that's what you guys did on the first day. So we're going by day basis.
Okay, I'm just making sure I'm understanding where everyone.
Yep. I'm gonna say that delving deep into investigating the underworld is probably going to be a second day investment, just to give you guys the full scope of it. Again, these are sort of generalization. Is there anything else that you're sort of doing, Holger?
I was actually going to look at properties and see if there are any properties for sale in the lower need.
Okay. I will probably say that will be
that's what we're trying to avoid.
I had the thought.
News coming. See?
I had the exact thought, like, man, what if I had an escape room down here or something?
Yeah, that's what every... Oh, it must be super cheap down there with the peasants. Yeah, that's specifically what they're trying to avoid. You will know that you would have to do it on a person-by-person basis. There's no, like, company that you can go to be like, oh, what sort of, houses are coming up? You'll have to go and talk to people and neighbors and try and convince them to actually talk to you because you are, from up top. That's going to be at least a day adventure. So I'll say we can jump to that next. But before we move on, what are you doing? What's your deal?
I don't know. You're the DM. What is my deal? What's going on? I don't.
Your brother, Ty, is unrelenting. He will not see your side of the story, does not want to sort of listen to anything, and will actually try to convince you otherwise of any sort of reason that you have for going back to any of the realms that you know of or have been to. Basically, he's stating that you guys can go anywhere, and as long as you choose that one place and stay there and stay in hiding, and he's kind of being sketchy about it because you get the general sense that he almost seems paranoid that somebody will come for both of you or something. But yeah, how are you approaching this? And this can be like a one-on-one roleplay if you'd like to.
I think she wants to try to get as much information about what's going on with him.
Like
So
with
probably,
like his mental issues, or
I think just the asking him like how he found this like thing or this built or this teleport shit. Like,
go and make a persuasion check.
that's so much work.
Oh man, rolling a single dice is so much more work than just like spending an hour talking about stuff. I'm trying to simplify this.
I know.
Okay.
Sorry, it's being slow.
All right.
You said perception or
Persuasion.
Persuasion. That's right. Sorry.
Perception to see if he like slips up.
And then take advantage with persuasion.
Oh shit! Oh, that's a 23.
Wow. Okay. Whenever you speak to him and ask to him, he is specifically holding back very precise information, as if, you know, telling you specifics might activate something. Again, he's like paranoid, but through his ramblings, you get the general understanding, and especially when he like steps away and is just sort of talking to himself, you get the understanding that he came upon this place accidentally through some of his journeys, and he discovered the crystals the same way the rest of the party has. But one of the times he managed to come back here. And ever since then, he's been able to sort of study and learn about it and how to, you know, sort of control, you know, how he accesses different worlds.
And I think in that she would ask him like how it even worked, how any of it worked without, like, is it magic, or because he doesn't understand technology really.
Right. It is a combination of magic and technology. Basically, there is this crystal that used to be connected to all the different worlds, but because it got abused, that connection was severed. The crystal was shattered, and these things were hidden away and were offline, honestly, for such a long time, until who knows. But now, you know, they are active again and able to be accessed. And specifically, this sort of setup seems to have some sort of connection to it that almost seems like it's simply observing it. It's not like tapping into it or powering it or giving it anything. This is just sort of like a research area and observation. But this is one of the largest crystals. So you think it might be because of that there's such control over it. But yeah, that's sort of the general understanding. It is a magical artifact that is tied to all the different worlds. That's why the, you know, connection is so easy, because normally you would have to have something from that world in order to be able to pull yourself towards it. But because this one crystal is technically connected to all of them in a very strange, weird, roundabout way, it's able to pull upon itself.
So if we travel somewhere, are we able to get back to this? Like,
right. Because this is such a big crystal, it has the most range of choosing where you want to go. And then because it is such a big one, it's also the easiest to pull yourself back to.
Okay. So like if we went to somewhere specifically, it's not just like a one-way ticket, it's like we can get back to this.
Yeah.
crystal.
Mhm.
Interesting.
But Ty is trying to be very careful about it and not using it too much.
Right, as to not exhaust it or
He feels
spend
that
it.
using it too much will draw attention.
Right. Right. I think at this point she kind of realizes that he's probably like insane now. And she's switched her approach from being confrontational to understanding and going along with it. And
So
just
you're playing along?
Right, yes. She's
Make a performance or deception check if you don't mind. Continue.
She's just kind of like keeping him calm. Oh shit.
Yeah, I think performance would probably be
I got
best.
a nat 20 plus 9 for 29.
For performance?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So.
Yeah, I mean, he believes you. And it's almost as if he's relieved. And you can see that he is, like, tired. And he very much wants to rest, but is so scared of losing you that he doesn't want to let you out of his sight. But as you're, at least pretending to be understanding, he seems more relaxed and isn't, like, constantly holding on to you or even hovering over you. But he still doesn't like to be in a separate room from you.
What? Oh. Great. Love that.
Perhaps if you could convince him to, get some sleep, maybe.
Yeah, I think she'll kind of pick a cozy spot and just kind of pat next to her so they can, lean on him and just kind of get him to relax enough to kind of doze.
Okay.
She'll probably hum a song that they know from their childhood or something, or just something that's
Sure.
warm.
I'm just trying to think of what skill check this would be. I almost want to say animal handling.
I mean, it could be performance again. I'm still
Sure.
I'm still pretty like.
Yeah, no, allow performance.
Okay. I am rolling really good today. 25.
Okay. You have managed to get him to fall asleep. What are you doing now? Are you sneaking?
Yeah, I want to try to
that stealth check.
I want to try to carefully like place him down like slowly so it's not as to not like startle him.
Sure.
To wake him up and whatnot, but to like, because otherwise I can't move the way he's leaning on me.
Sure.
So
yeah, go and make a stealth check.
I would like to use my auto 20.
All right. I mean, you could have at least attempted to roll first, but sure.
Okay, no, fine. I'll roll first.
Well, I mean, you could roll something good and then decide if you want to use the 20.
That's fine. I'm gonna use the 20 because I got a nat 1 anyway.
Okay, yeah. You
use the 20.
For a total of
24.
I'm just gonna roll his perception real quick.
Better roll shitty.
It's a good thing he had disadvantage because he's asleep, because the first roll was an out of 20. Do you want to know what I rolled for the second roll?
What?
Do you want to know?
Yeah, what?
He rolled one lower than what you got. So it's like the perfect movie scene where you like move him and he goes and like keeps sleeping.
That weird dog twitch.
Yeah. You like think he gets up and you just stay still and then he like rolls back over.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think she's gonna with that stealth check.
Yeah, you
Set
go
him
back
down.
to the crystal or
No.
something? Or what's the plan?
Do I know that if I grab this crystal, like myself, do I think that it would cause me physical harm to the point where it might kill me?
I think you've had enough interaction with the crystal. Like the first time it sent you to Karthus, but through the sort of research that you've done, you could access it and then figure out a way to choose your destination. You've never actually done it before, but that's what you get from your research. This has been a little bit, so I think I would like to jump over to Talia, if you don't mind.
Okay.
All right, fine. Finish your thought.
I'm gonna write him a note real quick.
Oh, jeez.
A nice note, and set it somewhere.
Lots of people writing notes saying like, "Bye, family."
Seriously?
She knows
Joshua?
this isn't her brother, like in the truth sense of being, that this is a very broken person and that it is not good for her to stay here because he is unhinged.
Okay.
A little bit. So she leaves a note and saying that I'm sorry, and I hope that you can find peace, but basically saying that in the senses that matter, I am dead, and you should mourn me if you need to, but don't come for me again.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion check for a note that I'm leaving?
Yes.
You gotta make it look like it's like a real note.
No. This is still something that you're telling someone and trying to convince them about something, whether it's said verbally or written
whether
down.
I convince them later or not is not I don't care that much, but 14, I guess.
Okay. Would you like to make a perception check? You don't have to.
I don't see the harm in it. 18.
Okay. First, where were you planning to go? Once you touch the stone, you feel
I'm
like
gonna hold on to Joshua's bracelet thing, and yeah, and then think about Joshua.
You are pulled into a world that you don't recognize, but you can tell that it is where Joshua is. That's an interesting.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I don't want him to follow me, so I make sure I have all my shit and leave him the note, and then I run up and I will grab the crystal.
Okay.
So.
In the last moments that you have as you place your hands upon the crystal and feel your consciousness getting sucked in and willed off into another plane entirely, the last thing you can sense, not even so much see out of the corner of an eye, but can feel and understand and remember, is that Ty's body that you left turns to stone. And that's where we're going to take a bathroom break. And then we'll come back with Talia.
Thank God. I need it.
I mean, you could have gone anytime.
I thought you were complaining about my fucking scenario. I was like, excuse?
Finally.
Okay, rude.
No, yours is actually slightly more interesting than mine, so I'm fine with it.
I mean, all Connor did was somehow pretty much get a hold of a newspaper and basically just snuck around. Which is honestly really impressive, you gotta admit.
Mine's pretty clever. She is a fox spirit, so. What's sad is that it's it is sad though to think that your brother spent all this time trying to find you, but he's also now a psychopath a little bit, and that you're
Well, he's just someone who didn't mourn or accept the fact that
Well,
someone
he's
he loves
trying
died.
to like keep her hostage there with him, and that's not healthy. That's not good. It's like
That's not
it's just
love.
he was like losing it, and she didn't want. I don't think she would even want to be around her brother in that state anyway.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
it's
very
so because it's
boring.
like it's kind of like if you have a grandparent that you are close to, and then they get like dementia or Alzheimer's or something, and it's like kind of slowly slipping away from what is normal in your experience. It's just yeah, I don't know, it just wouldn't be good for her. I know that.
Nah, if it makes her feel any better, or like any consolation, to consider our group like as a surrogate family. Yes.
I don't know about that.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying, like, if she wants to, she can. You know, I mean, God knows, you got the two really
I
irresponsible
get it. I
brothers
just think
already.
that she's only known you guys for like maybe a month in like mental time.
Actually, it's been a couple days.
In like consciousness.
Yeah. Because you
so
met.
She doesn't know you guys at all.
You met in the jungle and kind of moved through there for like, I'll say like maybe 4 days tops. And then when you're at Karthus, that was maybe another like 6 or 7 days.
And you were kind of held at spirit
Like,
point by Connor.
less than a month.
Yeah.
In consciousness that
And then Connor went,
guys.
kind of went AWOL there after at Karthus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think she's in the headspace of, she knows that you guys are logical in that sense, and that version of her brother was not logical to her.
I got real much better. I tried not to laugh when you said logical with, and associated that with Connor.
No, not that Connor's logical, it's the situation.
Yeah,
like
heading back to the group is more logical
Yeah.
than like hiding out forever. That's not
And
living.
staying with Psycho Brother.
I'm interested
Yeah.
to see what Talia is gonna do.
Ooh,
With
yeah.
her Psycho sister.
How come the girls have all the family shit going on?
Oh, what do you mean? Holgir's got
Like-
family stuff.
Holger's got
Connor has
family
family
stuff,
stuff.
but it's like he doesn't got a psycho brother trying to keep him hostage, or a dad with really bad parenting issues trying to pin his
I mean,
children
I
against
thought
him.
for a while Joshua and Malachi had a thing, but apparently he just threw that out the window, so I don't know what to feel about that
a
anymore.
thing. Like
What about
romantic
Connor? He
thing,
has like
or-
an identity. He has like an identity.
Yeah, they-
issue.
I
Yeah,
thought they were
Malachi
starting
was
to
like
get
an adopted
slightly
dad to
romantic.
Joshua and like, you know, took him in, like showed him, yeah. But he's like, nah, I don't care about that anymore.
I mean, Connor
Considering
has
the
his
fact
issue.
that, well, considering the fact that, Malachi, another time, was at evil, yeah, I can why.
Which was that?
Wasn't he evil at one point?
Yeah, he tried to kill us.
That is
Thank you,
not
Mama.
true.
Cops.
That is not true
I
at
had to bring
all.
out the big gun. I had to bring out the big gun.
What are you talking about?
The big gun.
He's
The armor
talking
dude.
about that, armored dude that stabbed us. In
Malachi didn't try to kill you guys at all. He like rushed to the situation when he found out that there had been a plane breach.
And he was like, "Oh, high and mighty." You're like, "Oh, you're not supposed to be playing breach." And meanwhile, he's doing the exact same thing we're doing, pretty much.
No,
He
he was
wasn't.
noticing that there was a rift in like time and space, and he was trying to control it and make sure that monsters weren't coming through from other dimensions and causing havoc. And then Talia also bumped in, very much, the Spider-Man movie. But this happened before the Spider-Man movie, so.
What?
Do you remember the Spider-Man No Way Home, where like people came in from other dimensions and he had to put them in tubes?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. I'm sorry. Anywho.
Now I can't see. No, I'm just kidding.
And besides, Connor has his like identity.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about because I wasn't here for that.
Basically, Malachi has never been malevolent or evil to anybody. He has simply been a researcher of this thing, and every single time you guys have kind of come in and messed up the situation, he doesn't know how to respond to it, but he's like, this doesn't make sense, this doesn't work, and then usually he gets blown up or something, and then you guys just move on, and you're like, man, he was mean, and I'm just like, what the heck? Anywho, Talia,
We're adventurers.
what are you doing?
Back.
What are you doing during your downtime?
I was heading over to the
That's
lab.
right. Okay.
I was heading.
And you just kind of go up and knock on his door.
Middle of the day.
No, you could say it's daytime. It's fine.
I said the middle of the day.
Okay, yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Gosh dang it.
Yeah.
Lots being dumb.
Ah.
It won't. It's like there's no music playing.
Ah.
Okay. Talia. So you just go up and knock on his door. Yeah, he is like disheveled. His house is kind of in ruins. It's sort of high up in the actual city area where it was mostly attacked by the root. But he seems to have fended off his home fairly well. And looks at you and says, "Oh, you're back again, but you didn't come through the crystal, so how did you... What's going on?"
It's a really long ass story.
Well, I've got time. Do you tell him the whole story? Like Cliff Notes?
Yeah, sure. I guess I'll.
You tell him about Karthus?
No.
Okay.
That is my.
All right.
No. No.
Yeah,
Mine.
he's a little confused and doesn't really know what to make of it. But he's also just kind of been at a loss with his notes as of lately. But he does give you this information. He was integral to the process of actually sealing off this plane and banishing the root from even coming back. It was a strange and complex process, but it seems to be holding for the time being.
Where's the crystal that you had here? I know you have it.
It's still here. Why? What do you need it for?
Great, I'm gonna have to borrow it for a few seconds.
With this again. Alright. So you just waltz through his house and go and use the crystal?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
I already gave him. Oh,
She said, "Hello, welcome me in." Okay, bye.
No, I just wanted to, offer the opportunity if you wanted to try and get any more information out of him or something. But yeah, if you just want to go on, you absolutely can.
Actually,
Before I go,
Yeah, let's get some more information out of this guy.
Oh my goodness.
Now that you
It's like
mention
that dialogue option in the video game where it's like, "Are you sure you want to proceed? If you go on, you cannot come back here." And he's like, let's hold off."
Actually, I'm not ready to leave this planet yet.
I have some more dialogue options to exhaust first.
I got a couple seconds to finish.
You go back to Malachi and he turns slowly towards you as the camera zooms in. "Oh, hello again."
I hate it. Why does his face look different here than it does in the regular game? Ask your questions, lady.
That's actually a really good statement because
Sorry, I just have the visualization where his jaw doesn't move, his head just bobs as he talks. Just like a very low poly Malachi.
You leave the video game on that just last sentence he said, and then he's just sitting there reading for like hours.
It's just like a teardrop polygon with a face printed on it with very high like pixel resolution. Anywho, continue. What were you saying?
I don't exactly know like what to ask him. And, like, could I ask him like how he managed to prevent on the route from getting here?
Sure, make a persuasion check. And this will just sort of carry over for anything you ask him.
Okay. Persuasion. You son of a bitch.
What?
You fucked with her dice somehow.
I didn't, but okay.
No.
Man, with the amount of like stuff that I give you guys. What?
It's sarcasm. Just kidding. I think she's just cussing at the dice.
Okay.
Yes, I am because
You fucking bitch! Just. Oh, God.
That's
Okay.
it. Into the corner you go.
Can I use a adversity token on my 6?
Okay. With that, he's kind of confused why you're here and isn't really sure how much information to give you because he doesn't even know if it's really you. He also doesn't know you. But he says he doesn't tell you the process or anything, but he does tell you that he uses gold.
Ooh,
Gold.
money.
Which I will say that with your general knowledge and understanding of like deities and ancient beings and whatnot, is that there are like certain connections to different sort of ores and minerals that have different effects, you know, such as black iron is very toxic to most immortal beings. So perhaps something with gold has some sort of effect on this sort of primordial plant. But he does not give you any information about the process and how he used it. Simply that he uses gold.
Okay.
Melt down all your money and just pour it on him.
Make it rain on Morbazak.
Oh my god, then you just turn
Drown
into
him like
Tor-
Scrooge McDuck.
Overlord.
See? Last time I used a red box, it shot quarters at me. I almost drowned like Scrooge McDuck.
What?
Did you get that reference?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't remember where it's from.
It's from Sonic fan dubs of Sonic Riders. Anyways, Talia, what else are you asking? Or do you not care about this poor disheveled scientist anymore? And you're just gonna use his hot tub time machine and get out of here.
That's boogie.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna boogity boogity on out of there.
Okay.
My God,
where are you going?
Let's see. Do I have anything that belongs to the others?
Did Holgear give you a rock or something? Or did Mai give you something?
He gave you a
You've got
stone.
my nanny's luck stone.
Ah, that's
What it was.
okay.
Everybody got a rock.
A stone.
Yeah, you can use that to home in on Holgear.
Everyone got a friendship rock, but me.
That is exactly.
Well, it's because
I am
you
going
didn't
to-
exist.
Yeah, you weren't there.
And not everybody got a friendship rock.
Doesn't
I got
mean
a
I don't
friendship.
want a friendship rock.
And by friendship, I mean Joshua's life.
Wait, y'all are in that kind of relationship already?
No.
No, he just gave it to me, and it's gonna either be a good decision or a bad decision on his part.
We needed to find each other again, and ta-da, it's useful. Got you out of that.
Anywho,
Right.
let's cut back over to Connor and Joshua. What are you two getting up to?
Connor is, after what Joshua told Connor about Kitangu and that weird place, Connor's going to try and reach out to Kitangu. See if he can do see if he can communicate with him.
Roll me a d20 or d100 actually. Let's make this interesting.
U100,
Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking of a number.
43.
Okay.
69.
Damn
No.
Joshua,
Connor, do you think higher or lower?
I think lower.
Okay.
How far off was I?
You try to visualize Kitangu and, reach out to him the same way that you do with Connor's, with that sort of shared consciousness. And you don't get anything. You don't really understand the sort of connection that you're trying to go for, and you don't really find him, sort of in your memory banks. So, unfortunately, you don't get anything.
And Connor was like, okay, so I didn't know who this Kitangu was until Joshua told me about him. Maybe the more I learn about this Kitangu, the more likely I could probably reach out to him. Like that's what Connor is thinking. So he's gonna try
Again?
He's gonna try finding he's gonna try find books and any kind of from what Dad, Holgear, and Joshua would describe of Kitangu. Kind of use those scriptures as finding a basis on where he could probably find information on Kitangu, because I feel like Connor would know that a lot of beings, like extraplanar type beings, like gods and demons and those kinds of guys, have numerous names.
So yeah, you're not just going for the name Kitangu, but sort of looking for any sort of mythological sort of connections or whatnot, stories that seem related and whatnot. That seems like a good thing to research while you're down in the dark sort of dealings with Joshua. Go ahead and make either a religion, persuasion, or investigation check.
I think religion is much more fitting. Wait, religion, perception, what else?
Persuasion, because you're like talking to people, trying to get information. And
Religion,
investigation is just like generally searching.
I think I'll do religion because I feel like that's a lot more
Okay.
accurate. I got a 14.
It's weird because it's such a specific thing that, you know, there's a lot of, you know, stories about like some sort of deity or whatever that's like suspicious or like dark and foreboding and just sort of like watching people or, you know, doing stuff or whatever up on a mountain or whatnot, that again, it's still just sort of vague enough that maybe it's related, maybe it's not. Either way, you're not going to get any more information, unfortunately.
That's fair.
Joshua, what are you doing?
Joshua is just kind of literally thought about this. All right, Joshua is in the cult bazaar. Not describe it better. Looking for somebody that looks like another warlock or somebody with.
Hang on. Would you call that place like a or something?
A what?
What?
A black market.
Right.
Right, yeah, I'm in the black market of occult objects.
Yeah, he's in the seedy district.
The seediest district of them all. I'm in like the magic section of Walmart.
Oh, so you want shit that doesn't work.
I'm literally searching for things to open portals to other worlds. I'm gonna get what I get.
Okay. I will say the same thing. Either religion, persuasion, or investigation.
You know what? I'm gonna go with bad juju on this one and roll a religion.
Alright, go for it.
Does a 17 count?
Do you want to use the 17?
Yes.
Okay. As you ask around, there are definite ways to connect to other planes of existence of, you know, summoning magic is very, you know, understandable. But actually like traversing it yourself is a bit more dangerous and less heard of. It is sometimes something that you have to call upon powers that some would seem unnatural.
Good job, Palpatine.
Take a diversity token.
I was hoping that wasn't a reference. Alright.
So yeah, you have all the answers, you have the know-how, you have the means. The question now that you're trying to figure out is, what are you trying to do with it?
Well, we've basically just been using crystals to get around, and that's kind of inconvenient.
It's actually the most convenient. It's the most convenient than anything else anybody else has tried. The fact that just a random bunch of people have been able to, you know, plane hop at pretty much your whim is unheard of. You've plane hopped more than anybody else has ever, and you've only done it in like a week.
Technically 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't trust those crystals, cause
All right.
I mean, come on.
All right. Well,
There's
if you don't
something.
have anything else immediately that you're wanting to do, we can come over to Jack.
Alright, yes, please.
Okay.
I'll think about it.
Jack, yeah, you still have a couple days before the any sort of specific meetings or the barbecue, or we can jump to that if you would like, if you've got nothing else going on.
Nothing that I can think of. So we could probably go ahead and jump to that if you want to.
Okay. Yeah. Do you come with any food, or do you just show up?
Yeah, I'll bring food.
Okay.
Also bring like a couple kegs of whatever they drink there.
Sure. Do you bring anybody with you, or you just go by yourself? Like, I wasn't sure if you were inviting any of the other party members, basically. Or if you've got...
if any of them want to go, for
Yeah,
sure.
Connor is down to come. I guess he can show off some magic tricks he has.
Okay. What about Holgear? Do you allow Holgear
Yeah, do you want your square friend at the party?
How about this? Holgear, when you go looking for places to have your home of your own, do you ask Jack for assistance? Is this a dual thing that you want to do? Because I feel like this might happen before the barbecue and might decide whether or not you want Holgear around.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I think yes, because I don't know how to talk to people down here and not get rejected.
Okay, I guess it's up to Jack if he's willing to help you out, though.
Well, I guess we should probably have a conversation about that.
Yeah. Olgir's definitely going to pitch the idea at the very least, because you're the person who he knows down here. Has
Go for it.
finger on the vein.
You have the scene.
So
Jack.
what can I do for you, my friend? Yes.
Jack.
Yes.
Jack, I overheard you, and you were saying that due to the recent tourist influx, there was a bit of a street coming along. A main street, if you will.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
I was wondering if there was
People
room
seem to
enough
enjoy coming down here to mingle.
I was wondering if there was, well, I suppose there's no real way to dance around the subject. I was wondering if there was property. Not that you would know on first hand, but I was wondering if we could expand business.
Let me ask you. Why would you want property down here when you have property up there?
I would like to support the businesses around me. I want to look. I know what I'm man enough to know that you don't trust me worth a damn when it comes to businesses and business practices. I want to help
I
people.
trust exactly what you're going to do. I trust exactly what you're going to do with your business practices. But go ahead. Who?
You said, don't put words in my mouth, motherfucker,
Look,
but
man,
okay.
Let me ask you this, ma'am. Where were you 2 months ago when these same places existed? Nothing's changed down here. The only thing now is that it's a fad for you people to come down here and see what it's like to be amongst us. So I'm asking you, why? What makes you think that you deserve to come down here and make money off of the people who who basically are the people who are the people are coming to see. They're not coming down here to see you. There's no business that you can bring down here that they're coming to see. They're coming to see us. And quite frankly, I mean, excuse me, you've got enough business. How much more money do you need, man? Don't you think the people down here deserve to have a chance to make their own?
Then how about this? Standing offer, I will help endorse and start whatever business venture, is I believe the term. Say, little Jimmy on the street. By golly, he wants to start his own shop. Send him my way. We'll see how his business looks. And should he need a little bit of extra starter capital, I will be happy to provide. Kicks things off.
So you're trying to become a loan shark?
Yeah, I was gonna be like, this sounds profoundly shady.
Oh, you gonna be Jeff Bezos?
Now
I'm just
look,
imagining-
here you
I'm
haven't
imagining Jack
collected
just-
my money in quite a while.
I'm just
Oh,
imagining
excuse
Jack
the fuck
sitting
out
like
of
a
me.
mob boss with a cigar in hand, be like, so you think we can sit down here, huh?
Well, excuse the fuck out of me for trying to play a high charisma character when I don't have very high charisma.
Bro,
No,
you should
we're-
have been barred.
Wait a minute, aren't you a warlock?
Guys,
No.
let them.
The only person who has anything in Warlock is you. Pretty sure.
And Joshua.
And
That's what I said, Joshua.
Joshua wasn't talking. It was Connor.
I was super confused.
Anyway, the whole gear and Jack scene. Everyone.
I was pretty
So
sure.
you want to
Connor
come
did.
down here and you want to make profit off of the people who you think that we're not financially capable of starting our own businesses? Let me explain to you. There's already businesses here that people are coming down here to see. The money is already flowing down here. We already have venture capital coming down here. So what can you do that's going to make yourself more useful than the money that's already coming down here?
Quick
How about
access to
this? How about this? How about you come down here and live with the people for a while? And after you've lived with the people for a while, if you think it's okay to take advantage of them, you're certainly welcome to go ahead and try. But I don't think you will. I think that once you've spent some time with the people down here, you're going to realize that there's other people who need more than you do, and you're already doing okay. I think you'll come to learn that. So here's what I'm going to offer you. You can come stay with me. You can come live in my place. You can hang out with me. You can meet people. I'll introduce you to people. We don't have to talk about where you come from, because down here we don't care about where you come from. We care about where you're going. So I'll offer you that. If you want to go for that, that's cool. Otherwise, I gotta be honest with you. I'm not in favor of people coming down here and making money off my people. That's just the way it is. I think after a while, when you've met enough of them and they've come to become your people too, you might feel the same way. Then you might actually feel like helping people out instead of taking advantage of people. But that's my offer. It's up to you.
I appreciate the offer. I think I'll get some affairs sorted. Meet you down here tomorrow night, something like that.
Hey man, yeah, we can go to the barbecue together.
Oh, thank you. Should I bring anything?
Bring what you want, man. Bring what you want and bring what you can.
See, I know you say that. I feel like I might accidentally go overboard.
Well,
And then I'll
don't
might
tip
look like a jack.
tip your head. Don't make it look like you're trying to buy friends. Just be friends.
Gotcha.
So, don't bring the whole damn pig. Just bring the best part of it.
Gotcha.
Don't bring your personal butcher.
Or a truck full of fine cuisines.
Okay.
I was thinking about catering.
Nah. We do that our own.
So,
Does
would
that.
would Connor and Joshua be invited?
Where
If you
are
can
you
behave
guys?
yourselves,
Of course, we'll behave ourselves.
if you can't behave yourself, I'm gonna tell you right now, there's people who will put you in your place and make you behave yourself. Just letting you know.
I feel like Connor would feel a
It's
little.
okay to
he'd be
have.
like,
It's okay to have fun. It's not okay to be disrespectful. I'll just tell you that.
when have I ever been
As long,
disrespectful?
as long as you don't step over that line, you're good. I'm just telling you. Sometimes when the alcohol is involved, people say stupid shit, but
I
and
mean,
there might be alcohol involved.
no more stupider than me and Joshua being half drunk and running all over the city trying to look for y'all.
Well, if you remember, you found me and kept going, so that's
I mean,
okay.
it was a good
Don't
process.
act cool. I'm
Just
glad
like,
it worked out for you.
It worked perfectly. Well, I mean, it did exactly what I thought it would do. Honestly, I was just very depressed because I thought y'all left me somewhere.
We couldn't leave you, man. You always pop up.
Oh, it's because y'all are like my
Good
only
thing
friends.
about-
Y'all are like my only friends.
I would like to
That's a
argue
sad.
that we didn't leave you in.
Glad to be your friend.
It felt oddly abandoned. I don't know why.
We're here all the time.
So, what was y'all's impression of Kitangu, anyways? I'm trying to do some research on him, see if I can place the name with the face.
Do you know his face?
I do not. I only know what Joshua told me.
Can tell you more.
Well, tell me more. I'm trying to figure out who he is, so maybe we can get a light on his motivations and maybe a big plan he might have. I have.
Right. Well, his name is Kitangu. You're his eyes and ears for the multiverse. He banished himself to that desert place. Forget the name.
He
Purpose.
expressly asked
Yeah.
us not to say any of this and to actually keep all of it secret, but
Especially to the Connors, which he can hear and see you doing.
Hey,
Yo,
look at him, man.
Kitangu, you owe me 5 gold.
Wait, he does? Wait, does that mean I owe you 5 gold?
No. Same.
Oh, we're the same person, though. Wouldn't that mean I owe you 5 gold?
Nah, it's not how a hive mind works.
It isn't. Man, I have
I'm
my
very new to this.
I don't know. I feel I'm discovering my whole existence is basically just being a puppet to basically a shut-in god.
It's like when you're supposed to figure out your own taxes because the government won't tell you, but then they know exactly how much you were supposed to pay them when you do it wrong.
Yeah, they'd be like that. Bastards.
Wow, okay.
It's canon. Next character I'm gonna make is like an anti-tax character. Like he's gonna hate taxes with a passion.
Oh, I thought you said anti-vax.
But no, anti-tax. Like no taxes. I'm on the run because I refuse to pay them.
I hate to point this out, but currently in the homebrew feats, the top one that has been there for the longest time is anti-vaxxer.
What?
Seriously?
Yes.
How's that
What does it
work?
do?
I don't remember specifically, but I think it's like they only accept magical healing and won't take potions or something like that. And it basically changes like how they're affected by certain things. It's really stupid.
I feel like that should make you have disadvantage on checks.
Right,
that
no,
have
it's
to do with
literally a
disease.
joke just to make your dungeon master angry.
I'm going to do that next campaign we do. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get that feed just to annoy you.
I don't care. I mean, there are lots of people that are like purists, like, I only accept alchemical healing, or I only accept magical healing, you know, stuff like that. Like, Mai is probably like a naturist or whatnot, and probably doesn't really understand potions and whatnot, that sort of thing. It's just sort of like whatever your history or basis of, you know, development is. Anyways, shall we cut to the,
Ooh,
Barbecue.
barbecue.
Is that what you guys want to do?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Since Jack specifically mentioned a pig, I'm gonna bring some shoulder.
Ah, damn, I was going to bring a pig. Ah, well, I'll just bring a big bottle of wine or something. Can't go wrong with booze, right?
Never go
An
wrong with
AA barbecue.
Yo, I can't wait for Talia to teleport in at the barbecue.
Yeah, and she'll tell us off. We're like, why are you drinking? Why is Connor here?
Why haven't you found Mai yet?
I imagine that's going to be the first question she's going to ask. Be like, where's Mai? Y'all haven't found her yet?
I bet they're going to teleport in at the same time.
Oh,
The
yeah. Well,
Terminator.
I don't know. Maybe if you let things happen and
now I'm
Yeah,
just
the
imagining
wind's
Talia,
really-
Mai and Talia disappearing naked like in the Terminator movies.
It's almost
whatever.
like if people stopped side talking and questioning stuff, we could actually investigate stuff and see the actual answer.
Sorry.
It just kind of slows down the game. All right.
Sorry.
I would.
So I will go down the list and ask, what do you bring and where to the barbecue, if anything specific? Connor.
A couple of big wine bottles that he may or may not have procured from someone he may or may not be indebted to already, that he will not admit that he probably robbed from.
Are you okay, man?
Oh yeah, my character totally robbed this loan shark and just stole two of the fanciest bottles he could find.
Okay.
So
Joshua.
this Connor's really alcoholic.
This Connor has problems.
You guys were gone for 2 seconds and he instantly got depressed.
He instantly got into debt, alcoholism.
No, he never got into debt.
25 minutes at most, bro.
Joshua, what are you bringing to the party?
I'm bringing apples.
Okay.
Like a bucket of apples.
Okay. And Holger, you said you're bringing some pig?
Pork shoulder.
Pork
Smoked.
shoulder. Ooh. Oh, you smoked it yourself.
So good. Oh, that sounds so good.
Okay.
I don't think he did.
He
I
had
Or
to
no,
serve
like
it,
you
do
got it. Like you didn't prepare it to have it cooked at the barbecue. It's already cooked. That was the point I was trying to make.
Oh yeah, no, it was pre-cooked. Bring it with.
Okay. And then Jack, you said you were bringing a case of buds. Right?
Yeah,
Some-
bring that in a big old bowl of coleslaw too.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And for the record, Connor's not in debt.
He just met a loan shark and robbed him.
That's better.
That's yeah.
Anyway.
Anywho, you all arrive at the the barbecue. It is sort of in like what would sort of be like the side yard to this sort of house, but again, it's weird because it's underground, so it's kind of like this carved out section that has like a lot of nice things except for, you know, grass. So it's just this sort of weird picture of like, you know, all the normal stuff of like having like, you know, these sort of like statues and like garden gnomes and like maybe like a fence set up and whatnot, but there's no like sun or sky or, you know, foliage of any kind. Oh, there's like some potted plants and whatnot, but you know, but this is Mutton Chops' abode. He does live alone, but he, you know, takes care. He's got like this kind of side shed that he's kind of got opened up, that he's sort of cleared out, and he's got sort of his tools arranged out, and he is grilling stuff at the moment in this sort of like small little setup thing. And he welcomes you all warmly as people kind of are just sort of milling about. There is like a table that you can bring and set stuff off of, and people can kind of pick up whatever they want. There are like a few minor activities. There's like cornhole off to the side or something. But generally what the situation is, like people just milling about. And Jack, you would sort of recognize this as some of the people in your neighborhood. And again, they also have invited a few people over. But it's a fairly small thing. It's maybe... I want to say like 30 people tops, including you guys. And it's just kind of this sort of smallish get-together that even with your sort of eclectic group, you don't draw a lot of attention. Cool.
I thought he was going to continue talking.
You have a good time.
Woo!
And that's where we'll end the session. Like, come on, guys, give me something.
I'll challenge you guys to cornhole.
Is the cornhole wax?
Connor.
What?
Wax hasn't been invented.
What about candles?
Alright, shut up. And no, they're not scented.
What's the point of having candles?
For light.
They smell like whale.
It can be used as spell focuses.
Hey, how did
Anyway,
they get my great
Like it's kind of early enough that people are just sort of mingling. They haven't really sat down to like have any sort of big meals and whatnot. And then, you know, generally, and Jack will sort of give you this information. Generally, how it goes is that he'll kind of mill about for now. Maybe stories later or any sort of like discussion kind of seriously pops off after the sort of meals and whatnot. And then, you know, as it sort of winds down, people might do stuff like drinking contests or something. But if you want to, you know, bring up something impromptu, like, you know, wrestling, arm wrestling contest or something, I don't know. It's up to you guys. Mingle.
I will kind of inform you guys before we get there. Don't bring up anything serious until after dinner.
Can't talk
hold
about
your-
funerals.
Kind of
Can't
keep
talk
to
about-
yourself about where you're from and what you do. Just try to mingle. Just try to be friendly with people. You're gonna find that they're gonna be friendly back with you, and just try to get to know them for a while before we start discussing any serious shit.
Alright. So, Connor is going to approach someone who seems like they're lonely, like, you know, like that one person who's standing awkwardly out to the side, not knowing who to talk to. and
Okay.
go and talk to them.
Yeah, you see like this half-elf guy that's sort of leaning up to one side. That's sort of got a small drink that he's just sort of like dealing with, and he's taking like slow sips out of it. Not really, doesn't seem to be with anybody. Just kind of keeping to himself.
All right,
Kind of
Connor's
gives you a
gonna approach
side
him
eye
and
as
be
you
like,
come up.
"Hi, so you know anybody here, or you just invite yourself along, man?"
I come to these every so often. Why?
I'm just curious. I like meeting new people. Now, this is a question I hadn't asked in a minute. This is me as a player. Is Connor seeing like different versions of this individual, or is it still just singular?
Make a history check.
Does
I mean,
Connor
I'm
know
just-
this man?
I don't know.
We're about to find out.
I got a 4.
You've never seen this person before.
Connor thinks to himself, okay, another new face. This is nice for me. New people for once. He's like, so I'm Connor, by the way. What's your name? And I reach out to shake his hand.
My name is Damien Stormshadow.
Whoa.
Wow,
Okay.
that's a very interesting name.
He doesn't shake your hand.
Ah, okay. Can I do an insight check on this guy? Like, get a
Sure.
vibe check on, like, if I'm pissing
Your
him off or
hand.
something.
Your-
If I'm pissing him
Pharaoh.
off or something.
Yes.
Is that a reference to Damien Dark? Yes!
That's a nat 20 plus 10, 20, 30.
This guy seems to be hanging out to the sides, kind of like he's casing the place.
So, anything interesting here?
As of yet, nothing.
Uh-huh.
I am taking an adversity token because I deserve it.
Okay.
I knew that had to be a reference to Damien Dark.
I'm not
was
giving
gonna
you
say,
adversity token, you're taking it.
I was thinking, man, this guy has more emo name than my grandmother's maiden name. What? My grandmother's maiden name was very goth sounding.
So you're sitting here sizing up this person
This
you don't
elf
know.
dude. Yes. I'm gauging him. I'm trying to figure him out. Piece them together.
Connor doesn't
Okay.
meet people, he figures them out.
When you meet as many people as I have in my lifetimes, you tend to size them up constantly.
Connor's just slowly leaning in, stroking his chin. And what do you do for work?
Yes, just stroking his beard.
Every introvert's fucking worst nightmare is Connor.
Every who's?
Every introvert's worst nightmare is an extrovert.
Is an extrovert like Connor.
Anywho, Connor, what are you doing about this gentleman?
I'm gonna keep my eye on him.
He's
Make
gonna
some
keep his
small
eye on you.
We just stand there narrowing each other's eyes, being like, I see what you're up to, man. Don't think I don't see it. Just sending a mind message. Like I'm sending a message into his head.
Oh, he
Like,
sends like
I-
the same thing right back. Like, I've got my eyes on you.
And we're just like.
So
doing
what are
the-
normal people doing?
Well, mine's currently in a portal.
I said normal people.
Oh, rude.
I'm having barbecue.
None of
All
them are
right.
normal.
Joshua
That's
is helping
fair.
Barbecue.
I'm taking an adversity token for your rudeness.
Wait, no, you can't just give
Yes, I
yourself
can.
stuff. No.
Yes, I'm taking it. It's mine now.
No.
My bag of holding.
Myself,
What are you doing, Joshua?
I'm helping barbecue.
Oh, you're helping cook?
Keeping the
Yes.
flame going.
Joshua, roll me a d20.
Oh god.
Straight up a D20, no modifiers or anything.
Yeah.
Alright.
Just because I don't want to tell you what this is.
Oh no.
You wouldn't happen to be proficient in cook's tools, would you?
I don't think proficiency would matter if he's just rolling straight.
I got an 8.
Oh no.
Be away from the kitchen.
As you're watching Mutton Chops like cook with this little grill, you seem kind of drawn in towards the situation that he's got going. Like he's got it under control, but you see like you're like interested and drawn in.
Oh no. What happened?
Oh.
Are you doing anything, Joshua?
I thought there would be more. Yeah,
You just kind of got like this it's not intuition, but you got this kind of weird pull, just kind of like that's interesting.
I dive headfirst into the grill.
Okay. Do you actually
No.
Okay.
No.
Do you want to walk up like a normal person and begin conversation with Mutton Chops as he's grilling?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he's got like this big slab of meat that is like dry rubbed and everything, and he's just sort of searing it at the moment, just kind of leaning back. Hey, how's it going there, man? You enjoying the party?
I'd say so myself.
Cool. Glad to see new faces.
Well, I won't say new, but...
Hey, you mind keeping a watch on this? Like, you shouldn't need to do anything, but just make sure it doesn't explode or anything. I gotta run inside and grab something.
Alright.
Okay.
No promises, though.
And as, like, he steps inside, he leaves the door open, doesn't close it behind him. But then you hear, like, this sort of grease sizzle and pop. And then you hear... Joshua.
I lean in close to the fire and say...
Joshua.
Yeah, I answer. I say what? Low.
It is I, speaking to you through the flames of old.
I assumed so.
He's been practicing this.
Have you been practicing this?
I have manifested many forms, and as the ages progress, the old times of mantles and hooves have manifested my presence. I speak to you now as I set ribs.
Alright, it's 11 o'clock. I got exams in the morning.
Alright, I guess we'll leave that cliffhanger.
Yep.
Oh.
Downtime barbecue with an eldritch god.
I'm
Good
glad
night,
that
everybody.
Talia and
Just-
I
Wait.
Just
you guys-
communing
you guys just
with
have
this.
Wait,
Okay.
does that make every grilling dad a warlock?
Oh my god, I hate you.
Oh,
I'm
yes, it does. That is now canon.
If you
Sparrow, don't
read
get
the
to say.
smokes, you can foretell the future.
Walk the path
We're making
of the
a hair.
Lord.
So
Good night.
can I have one of the legs? Well,
Your burnt offerings satisfy me. I shall grant you smoke visions of mysteries untold.
Alright.
Also, your steak is well done.
also your steak is burning a little bit. You might want to take that off.
I am burning
minutes.
it as a portion That is your sacrifice to me.
Holger, you just seeing Joshua just like getting, like
Just
visions
staring
by
into this
staring into this grill.
Oh, of course he is.
I feel like I'm giving the baby nightmares in the other room. She's just like crying out like,
Good.
"Wah!"
Good. The baby needs nightmares.
Oh, jeez.
Life isn't all rainbows and unicorns.
Yeah.
Wait, who's got a baby in the other room?
Me. My sister is
Sparrows.
down.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
Holger, are you doing anything at the barbecue?
I guess if I just see Joshua just fucking 1,000 yards staring at the grill, I'm probably gonna just push him into a chair. That man needs some help.
He like
some milk.
he pushes back and holds up a finger to his lips like, "Shh, I'm speaking to the flames of ancients."
I'm like, yeah, okay, then. Okay.
Okay.
Also, Mutton Chops asked me to watch this.
Still pokes at the steaks gently with the spatula.
You don't cook a steak with a spatula.
Spatula, tongs, same fucking shit, dude. I'm in a fucking time portal right now, okay? I don't care.
She's not
Okay.
the only one.
Jack, were you doing anything?
Probably after we eat, I would probably have a word with all the people that are there, and letting them know that, just as a general conversation, that there are going to be people coming down here trying to take advantage of the situation, that being down here is starting to become a valuable thing. And I'm going to urge everybody that they should not just go for the quick money, because in the long run that gets you nowhere, because where are you going to go spend your money? And you're going to run out of that money eventually. It's better to stand your ground and find a way to make a profit off of people coming down here than it is to sell off the land that you have and probably not get what it's worth to begin with, and let other people make money off of it. This is not the way we should behave down here.
Mm. That is one of the
Should act as
things of
united.
discussion that comes up.
Yep.
It's only once people are stuffed with so much meat that they're able to really, allow themselves to be open-minded about the situation. Anywho.
My God.
Yeah. I think as people are kind of like breaking off after having these sort of like big talks, after everyone's gorged themselves and had these sort of big talks, people are kind of starting to break up and continue, like, if they're more interested, and people are kind of spreading out if they're just sort of tired and want to hang out, or if some people are kind of starting to go home after the food, that sort of thing.
Well, the last thing I would want to have to say is that I would encourage them to go out and have these discussions with their neighbors and get everyone's opinion, and try to get everybody on board with the fact that we should not sell out our future for short-term gain.
Yeah, Mutton Chops is in the very same boat. Like he's like, he was tempted to consider like opening up some sort of business, but he also doesn't like that venture of like trying to shill out and basically base his life around still sort of responding to the people above. And people are gonna have to start taking a stand at some point, but it's just sort of this process of like, how do we go from here? How do we actually use this and not just continue to avoid and ignore this situation that's happening? But yeah.
My short answer to that is suck them for everything we can get out of them, and then we'll become our own economic force.
Yeah.
Suck them.
Suck them dry. Get all the gold.
Open
Like
casino,
little
quick.
leeches.
Yeah. Holger, did you have any sort of final things?
Nothing specific. I was gonna challenge the guys to like a 4-way cornhole contest, but
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it
could
kinda-
absolutely start next session with that.
yeah.
Let's cut over to Malachi's lab. Because in a very clean and sorted out room, suddenly a figure manifests inside of a glass chamber. Talia, you've seen this sort of construction before. It's a little bit different, but... What is playing right now? I don't know what that is. Sorry about that.
Those road noise. maybe?
Go through the window. No, sorry.
Talia, as you touch this crystal and are teleported into worlds where Holger is, you are once again trapped inside one of these protective cylinders. And shortly after, Malachi comes in again. And just kind of looks at you. I'm sorry, I feel like I've got this very strange sensation of deja vu. Have we met before?
Let us say that we have.
Alright. Let's say that we have. And he, like, pulls up a chair and sits down. That would be entirely dangerous, as I seem to have no recollection or any, like, gestures over towards his notes. Documentation of such a visit means that upon our meeting last time, there was an event horizon which caused my reality to be overwritten. And now that I'm back, or rather, now that you're back, I'm concerned that such a thing might happen again. So, I will ask, what brought you here last time, and why are you here now? You do know the consequences of crossing over into worlds that are not your own. More than just simple trespassing, they can spell disaster for, you know, cause and effect. You do know something of the butterfly effect, don't you?
Yep, they do.
Alright. Well, then this must be something terribly important for you to skip over the consequences. In fact, right now I'm very willing to simply allow you to roam free, but again, this is something that I am entirely estranged about. Perturbed, at the very least. So, do you mind filling me in? What's going on here?
I kind of lean forward and say, just promise you don't screw me over in the end like you did the last time.
He cocks his head. I'm not sure what I did last time, so I can't promise that I'll do it again, but I would assume that what I did was, at least in some way, an attempt to prohibit you from interacting with the world in some way, or at least lessen the impact that you did make. Again, seems as though since you remember you managed to survive, I am at your whim, it seems. So, how about we just cut to the chase? How about you tell me what it was that I failed at, and I will try not to do that again. Sound fair enough?
If I recall correctly, you decided that you were going to be inside this cylinder to study me. Because, as you said before, you never experienced a person capable of planeswalking.
He rubs his face as if something is like being remembered, but he just can't manage it. I mean, there's much to unpack here. Let alone the fact that you're a returning visitor, but the fact that you are not just some sort of random creature, but you are humanoid, intelligent, possessing of speech and, well, just a bit different than what I'm used to. Usually there are sort of anomalies and such things as, you know, elemental expanse and different magic fluxes and whatnot. Hardly do we get creatures that even survive the trip, but the fact that you've managed to do it twice now leads me to believe that there is some way to actually control it. Now, bear in mind, I'm not trying to milk information from you, but I am first and foremost a researcher, so it is simply my will to try and understand things. But still, you seem to be dodging the question, why are you here?
Do you have something that I need?
And what would that be exactly?
The crystal, of course.
You need the crystal.
Of course.
What do you need the crystal for exactly?
Traveling purposes, unfortunately.
Yes, and it is due to that I've actually been able to bypass your connection and plop you here. But if you managed to come here, certainly you had another crystal. You could have gone anywhere else. Unless you were skipping, if you're hopping destinations, although from what I've experienced, it doesn't exactly work like that. You can simply go from one stone to the other. So, please, tell me, why did you come here, specifically? He, like, crosses his arms, sternly.
I guess there is no proper way to get it over the head.
I couldn't quite make that out. You're mumbling a little bit.
I said, I guess there is no proper way of getting it over your head. I guess I can spill. Out here, like a crystal, but the crystal is somewhere. It has to be encompassing serpent. I can't necessarily use it again. I came here to use the crystal to travel to a different plane. World.
He kind of looks off into the middle distance, thinking a moment. So, some of the crystals do resonate with others more specifically than others and can't directly jump to any other one. Interesting. That's something I hadn't considered. Very well. So, you're simply a visitor and are just passing through?
Exactly.
Alright. So, where are you heading to next?
I have no idea.
He, like, laces his fingers and places them over his knee.
I am trying to find my friend, my crew.
And they are in another world? See, I still feel like there's something you're not telling me. So, allow me to be clear. Simply passing through is not as painless as you think it is. You leave behind traces. When you pass through something, you are like a needle and thread, drawing a line, pulling them together, crisscrossing, and making a closely knit web. And the tighter that string gets pulled, the closer those realities get to each other. And when they collide, well, that's an entirely different set of circumstances that I don't think you understand or are equipped to deal with. I don't think anybody is. So while you're simply gallivanting on whatever destination or, events or adventures or chores or I don't know what sort of shopping spree you're intending, but simply dragging stuff around is not as harmless as you think it is. So, I would very much like to ask you to simply return to where you're from and not attempt to make any more of a mess. Does that seem fair?
You do realize that I can break this spell. I've done it once. Do not test me. I can
Make
do
an
it
intimidation check.
With advantage?
No.
Again. Oh, come on.
I was gonna roll to see if he remembered you doing it before. He didn't, unfortunately.
But knowing
21.
Wow, okay. He stops for a moment, considering. If you do break out, then you are proving yourself as the aggressor. You are showing me that you are, in fact, a risk and a danger, and should be stopped, if not neutralized. So, go ahead, prove me right. Show me that I should use lethal force. Otherwise, if you would like to continue having, normal, passive conversation, we might be able to actually come to an understanding. And that's when you appear in the room behind this. You appear in Malachi's research room in front of a desk full of notes. And on the desk, you see a weird little contraption. It almost seems like it's being used as a paperweight, almost in a place of respect, or, in the same way that someone collects trinkets from their family and whatnot. You see a small little device that kind of looks like a fire starter.
Is it a lighter?
Yeah. Specifically, Joshua's lighter.
Oh. I'm gonna put in.
And I will say that Talia, you see Mai teleport in, but Malachi has his back to her.
I just mouth to her. What the fuck is happening? What is going on? But like, doesn't. It just
Malachi
kinda...
like goes to turn around in his chair.
Natalia says, "You really want me to use lethal force to get out of this cage? Okay."
He turns his attention back to you. No, in fact, I don't. That's entirely the point of the tube, is to make sure that people don't do stuff without, actually stopping to consider. Again, most of what I deal with is rabid monsters or fluctuations of rabid energy that simply would cause chaos. I thought for actually dealing with a person, I might be able to explain, allow them to judge and realize the situation. Common sense. But it seems as though that still doesn't apply, which is very disconcerting. And I'm wondering if all you plane travelers are the same way.
Mai is, as they're talking, shoving shit in her bag.
What are you grabbing?
The
Just
papers,
anything?
the lighter.
Go ahead and make a
shiny
stealth
stuff
check.
on the desk. She's like, these papers look.
We can't
in
make
which
a good
bag
first
are you
impression
putting it
for the
in?
life of us, can we?
First impression, my ass. This person's got my friend in a fucking cage.
And your
And the first thing you
response
do is
to start
looting.
shoveling things into a bag.
Well, because I was looking at the notes and I was like, oh, this looks useful.
I'm
put
sure
it in
you're
a
putting
bag.
this in the bag of holding.
Yes.
Okay. And not
What am I rolling? Sleight of hand?
stealth.
Nope.
Because you're trying to do this quietly, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a 15, but if that's not enough, I do have one auto to left.
Are you fine with the 15?
What do you think, Talia? You think the 15 will do it?
I mean, he's currently engaged in a very heated debate with Talia.
So does that mean I have advantage?
No.
I mean,
Fine.
if you have any adversity
Oh, I
tokens,
do have some adversity tokens. I'll use an adversity token.
Okay. Then, as the other door opens and one of Malachi's assistants walks in, you quickly duck underneath the desk with your heightened senses.
I don't duck. I will blink.
Oh.
My thing.
Where do you blink to?
No, I don't. It's not blinking. It's I go to a different dimension.
Oh, you're gonna cast blink. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
the thing that I get from the fox spirit that went into my eyeball.
So what the fox spirit blinking is that it will teleport you back to a position that you were a little bit ago. If you want to cast the spell blink, that will send you to the ethereal plane. But it's also not consistent.
Blessing of the Blink Fox is Feywild magic to allowing you to blink back and forth. You can cast blink once per day. As an action, you can teleport back to a location that you were standing previously as long as it is within 10 minutes and 100. Oh.
Right.
I thought I had something that it let me...
The spell blink allows you to go to the plane of the ethereal plane. But it's a roll of the dice if it actually works.
No,
That's what the blessing of the blink fox gives you, is the spell blink. In addition to also
I understand that, but I'm saying that I have...
Alright, well, while you're looking for something, I'll keep talking with Talia.
Okay.
I am trying to convince you the severity of the situation and your actions have consequences, and it seems as though you simply don't care. Why?
What makes you think that I don't know when I don't care? I'm the one that hops from plane to plane every now and then.
Well, it's simply because you're not listening to reason, and I believe it's because simply no one has told you. So either you don't believe me, or you simply don't care what harm you're causing. And as it starts with name-calling and threats, it seems as though that it's possibly the latter. It's at this point that Malachi gets up from his chair and places his arm behind his back and kind of begins pacing. So, I guess the situation is either you will break out of here and kill everybody you see fit, including myself and who knows who else, or I can forcibly send you back to where you're from and we might go through this process once again. I'd very much not like either of those options to have. I'd very much like to solve this peacefully, but it seems as though you don't want to, so how can I convince you otherwise?
Maya's panicking. She's like, I don't know what to do.
Okay, so you're currently hiding behind the desk at the moment.
I think she'll polymorph into her fox form to make it easier for her to hide. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, like the assistant eventually kind of walks in and says, Professor, I'm currently busy at the moment. It's the Magister. He wishes to see you. Tell him that this is a matter of chaotic importance. I don't think he'll see it that way. You know how he is with understanding and respecting your industry.
Chaotic importance, huh? Wow.
Well, yes, if your doings and my doings go unchecked, this could be the collapse of our entire universe. In which case I have made a failsafe, but I doubt it would happen. Considering that we have done this before, I'm assuming that the failsafe did not work. So,
You're right, it didn't.
he gives you a strained smile. Well, I guess we'll either continue this conversation later, or we won't. And then perhaps we will. Ta-ta for now. And he just sort of like takes off his glasses and pinches the bridge of his nose. Does nobody stand to reason? Can nobody really talk? And he's just kind of like mumbling to himself as he goes out of the room, being quickly followed by his understudy.
Maya's gonna wait until she hears them like far enough away that she'll morph back and lock the door.
Okay. Yeah, easy enough.
Yeah, and then she's gonna run up to Talia. What the fuck is happening? Why? What? What is this? Why are you in a cage?
Back up for me, will you, darling?
What? Why?
I said, back up for me, will you, darling?
But I can just open it. Okay, that's okay. If you want to make big noise and break stuff, cool.
Yes, I want to make a point.
Okay. She just steps away. Out of the way.
And then Talia's like, okay, last time I got out of here,
You used water pressure.
Exactly. I knew about the failsafe, so I I pick the cell to activate the failsafe, and I start, and then I start, and I repeat the process.
What is the process, and what do you think the failsafe is?
Wasn't the fail the filling up foam, and then I basically just used the foam and the water to
Expand
basically
it.
make, yeah.
Yeah. That is one of the containment processes, but yes. Okay. You can go through that long and lengthy process again while Maya's just watching.
Ransacking the rest of the place.
Okay.
Gee.
Yeah. Other than the sort of containment chambers, there is like a large laboratory with a bunch of shiny things that you can just kind of start grabbing.
Yeah.
Do you know how to read?
Yes.
Okay. I just wasn't
This
sure.
poor guy's just trying to protect the universe, and we're just traipsing all over his stuff.
She
It's
put my friend
lovely.
in. He put my friend in a cage. She sees him as not a person.
Fair enough. Okay.
Oh, trust me, he's done it. He did it the last time I was here.
So you came back
I thought
and let him do it again?
I thought he would be different this time after like what 6.5 months or whatever.
Oh,
Apparently not.
Jeez, time is weird when you travel through planes. Okay. I take this sphere of metal. I don't know what this is or does. This go in the bag. I will take this book of stuff. She's adding to her collection of things.
Okay. Yeah, outside the windows you can see that the sun is starting to set. It's a beautiful vista. It's one of the most gorgeous views you've ever seen, with the kind of light starting to twinkle in the buildings down below. And you see the different hues radiating across the horizon of the valley, going across the clouds and whatnot. So I'm like not describing it very well, but it's like very beautiful and whatnot.
The image is in my head.
Okay, yeah, it's just very late evening.
It's just very beautiful to look at.
And it would be almost relaxing if not for the fact that there seems to be a commotion outside. There are people rushing about this palace, castle, some sort of mansion, estate. Again, you're not really certain. Well, Talia wouldn't be certain. I guess Mai doesn't really know about culture mostly, but there does seem to be some sort of situation brewing.
Hubbub.
Yep.
Talia, how long are you taking? Is this gonna be? Are we speed it up a little bit, please? Let's go.
I mean, I could always ask my dad to help speed up the process.
Yeah.
Let me guess, roll religion.
I mean,
roll a dad check.
You're still attuned to the dual swords, correct? You haven't reattuned to your pack.
I'm attuned to all of them.
You can't be attuned to all of them.
To 3, yeah. I thought you said she was.
No, when she went to Karthus, she was unattuned from her packed weapon. The sword that is Jormungandr's chains.
Oh.
That's why she like lost connection with her deity and whatnot. I said all that.
Yeah, but I thought you didn't say that it was continuous after we left.
Well, before the session started, I did ask if she was going to attune back to her original sword or stay attuned to the two swords.
Okay, I didn't catch that. My bad.
I messaged her. She didn't respond.
Oh.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask a question about that. You just reminded me.
Alrighty. Well, I guess go ahead.
Just looking for
That's what you asked me. As far as changing my pack of sky swords, if I do that, will all of the stats that I have trees edge go to the sky swords, or would I have to start like completely over?
Again, the one sword that's connecting you to the Ouroboros abilities will be different than the other swords.
Okay. In that case, I will just stick to having Sentry's Edge.
Okay.
I don't want to go through that process again.
Yeah. Again, I think you will realize that those twin swords were made for you and your sister. So, I think you won't really get access to their abilities until you come to some sort of understanding with your sister and share them. If that wasn't clear already.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to...
But I mean, you can still use them at face value. They're just... That's what the situation is.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Looks like I'm gonna have to become buddy-buddy with my freaking sister.
Hey,
You have a
to.
sister?
Yes, it's a long
My
story,
sister.
my dear.
Yeah.
Don't
We're all
want it.
having all kinds of family issues. All right, anyway, let's go. Hurry up.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
she
gonna-
summons some awesome help from her giant snake dad and
Come on, you're not
bursts
gonna
out of
let
the
me
cage.
or whatever? That's some fucked up shit.
What?
What?
You what do you want to
Mine's
do?
gonna what? Mine's gonna what? I couldn't hear you. Say that again.
What are you gonna do? What did
Normally when I ask for Norman Gunter's help, you tell me to roll freaking religion, but this time you're not gonna make me roll religion?
I thought you were What?
I think the only time I made you roll for religion is when you first came back from Karthus. I think
Just
whenever you tried
use
to
this-
talk to him, that's when I've made you roll religion. But if you have like abilities, you can summon his strength and whatnot, just using the sword. Were you trying to talk to him? Is that what you were trying to do?
No, I just wanted. Guess I was kind of like, okay, he will help me.
Yeah, with your packed weapon, you can command the strength of the Ouroboros. So you can do a bunch of stuff with it.
Okay, well then let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay. I was just going to, cut down some of the dice rolling because I'm just about done with the session.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So yeah, as you manage to break out of your cage and rush to the window, you see that there is a lot of commotion, not just in the palace, but also through the streets. As you can see that there are plumes of smoke, but not smoke from fire. And it's at this point that you realize that there seems to be impacts in the earth that this rubble is shooting up out of. It is very disconcerting. You can both make a perception check if you would like to.
$18.
Okay. Was my rolling?
Yeah, it's just being a pain in the ass.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. No. Oh, that is a nat 20 for a total of 27.
Wow, okay. With an 18, you can see that there are multiple locations throughout the city that they don't seem to be in, any sort of pattern. This doesn't look like a coordinated effort necessarily, no like plan of attack, but you can see that there is a vast, there seems to be about 5 points where you can see these kind of dust sort of billowing up from the destructions that's being caused in these specific points. With a 27, you can see specifically what is causing this disturbance is that there seems to be a large, you think, creature perhaps that is burrowed up from the ground that is now just sort of slowly traipsing throughout the city, kind of crushing buildings as it slowly moves.
Can I?
Yes.
Sorry. Go ahead.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, could I tell if it's like looking for something?
I will allow you to attempt to try and determine what kind of creature it is if you make an animal or nature check.
Nature.
Godzilla.
I am rolling so good today. That is a 23.
Okay, yeah, you know exactly what this creature is.
That scares me.
The problem is that I don't remember its name because I can't find it in my notes.
It is the fuzzy wumpkin.
No. I'm gonna come up with a name for it, just as a placeholder. It is called a Kargas, which is these sort of weird sort of rock lizards that almost have sort of like bulky snake or almost worm-like bodies with these sort of protruding limbs that just sort of help kind of pull it across surfaces. They're mostly designed to burrow through the ground, and what they do is they burrow through rock and consume minerals, and they're actually used as pets sometimes in sort of mining or sort of whatever sort of heavy. Yeah, they're very good at sniffing out good ores and whatnot. It's the fact of like training them not to eat that sort of stuff. And like allowing people to harvest them. They're basically like the same way that you can train like pigs to sniff out truffles and whatnot. You just have to train them not to eat it, basically. But yeah, they've got like these big sort of like segmented heads that kind of open up into this just sort of like almost just maw that just sort of consumes and just like straight down the gullet and back out the other side, just rocketing it out. As soon as it just sort of pushes its head through something, it just immediately gets shot out the back end. These things are like living machines. They just shoot stuff. Yes.
Talia, we got a problem. So I'll tell her the information that I know about this thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, not when you're close to it, and it's not like doing a job though. Now it's scary.
And I think it is with that we will end tonight's session.
That was